Hello there, English speakers. Welcome to Snow. We will talk a little bit about vaccines, insanity, and some details about the elections and some strange, odd things about the vice president in USA. But we'll start, as usual, taking a big, deep breath. Ooh, that was nice, and fresh, snowy air. So in July this year, there was a military study on flu vaccines that showed that there was a 36% more risk of getting COVID if you got this flu vaccine. So this was something that was known in the autumn, when basically every agency in the world were saying you must take the flu vaccine because of COVID. So are they just evil, or are they this stupid? We know what happened, as expected, if you have paid any attention to anything. When we have this COVID, it will compete out other viruses that are similar. Not that the flu virus is similar in appearance, but it has similar effects. So it has gone way down, so the risk of getting a flu this year is very small. But you should take the flu vaccine, because then you get 36% more risk of getting COVID. Why are we letting morons run everything? In Singapore, this is from the end of November, they halted the flu vaccines as they saw a lot of problems in South Korea. So that happened, and now when people are starting to get vaccines for COVID, we had a 30-year-old female doctor. So she's definitely she's not a man. She's young, she's healthy, and she's definitely not at risk from COVID. But she got into intensive care after taking this vaccine. It's just mind-boggling. Why should a 32-year-old female doctor get this vaccine when she had a history of allergies and so on? I can see some point in trying out this vaccine on very old people and see if that can save them a little, and if it doesn't, well, we are saving some money on the death of them. So you can think like that if you want to be a horrible person. But at least if we vaccinate the very old, we don't have this sudden overwhelming of the healthcare system. So that sort of makes sense, but vaccinating young people that are at no risk, that's insane. And in Sweden here, a lot of insane people are debating. Here the strategy is that the elderly people should get vaccinated before the healthcare workers. So that makes sense. And I mean, all these healthcare workers who have worked with COVID people for a year now, they are either immune or, as I said, very low risk. So they are the people who probably shouldn't get this vaccine anyway. There just seem to be some wrong thinking there, I think, that they might get COVID and spread it somehow because, well, they don't notice that they are sick or something like that. So people just make stuff up, I would say. We have no proof whatsoever that it's healthy healthcare workers that sort of spread COVID. That's just China propaganda. And if you want to talk about insane people, Bill Gates. He is moving forward. He wants to dim the sun and create a worldwide catastrophe, like a big volcano explosion that have similar effects. And he wants to do this because, well, he's insane. Not much to say about that. We have a very wise Swedish-English doctor, Sebastian Rushworth. He is explaining how this mess, the COVID mess, started with the propaganda from China and how they basically scared the rest of the world and created all these lockdowns and destruction of economy and feeding the richest people on the planet with more money that they should not have, instead of doing a good economy where you and me can actually do stuff instead of centralizing all the wealth. There's a Dutch site that is saying part of my mug, so thank you for ordering my mugs, by the way. So they agree with zinc and quercetin and vitamin C and vitamin D, and also this bromhexine coughing medicine. So that's good. I wrote an email to them and linked to the studies that I've linked down there also about this green tea extract that's a little bit faster than quercetin, and it has other properties. It's also an ionophore, so it helps in similar way to quercetin but different. And then we have black cumin and honey. According to this Pakistani study, it was extremely helpful against COVID. And then we have star anise, just a in vitro study, but we know that Tamiflu, which was made from star anise, has good effects, and star anise together with quercetin has very nice antiviral properties. So if you buy my mug, you get better advice than if you consult this Dutch site, which is done by leading medical doctors in the Netherlands. It's called zelfsorgcovid19.nl. So we're getting a lot of small reports from USA about how they were cheating. So this is an article about Arizona company that were shipping a lot of false fake ballots from Phoenix to Georgia. The point here is mostly we, the entire world, need to see those ballots and investigate them, and then we can see if they are actually fake or if they are just bullshit. Why are they protecting the ballots? They are locked up so that no one can look at them. This is not an election. Not an election. You can't say that you have had an election if no one is allowed to check the ballots. So no election has been happening in USA so far, at least not in these states. And Facebook, as usual, have kicked out the campaign for the two senators that are running now in Georgia, and they blocked them from Facebook. They are now restored. But what happens if you are not a powerful person running for the Senate with your entire party backing you up, or most of it, of course not Mitt Romney? Then, if you are just like you or me, when we get banned, we just get banned, and we have no chance for appeal because of China communists that don't want us to think freely. And then we have these rumors why people might hate pens. There are some accusations that happened. Someone who got slowly murdered had said proof about Pence raping and murdering children. I would not trust that. The reason is, if you are raping and murdering children and someone is about to expose you, first thing you do is of course upload child porn to their computers, and then you have the police arrest them. But if it's someone more dangerous, like Pence, you brainwash someone to make accusations against them, and you basically stage what yourself are doing to someone who might expose you. That's the likely way, the likely explanation, I think. But yeah, it's quite odd, to say the least. And with that, it's really nice and quiet here today. So yeah, live stream today at 8 o'clock Central European time, 2 o'clock Eastern American time. I will start in English then. If you want to listen to the language of honor and heroes, then you can of course tune in 1 hour earlier and send some people to interview about anything interesting that we can talk about, instead of, you know, the usual stuff that's in the media. We will not let ourselves be guided by what we should think about according to the media. We will talk about what is more important, and that's stuff for us. And I'll try to dig up some people to interview tonight, and it will be interesting. Otherwise, we'll sum up stuff, all the links to the studies I have been reporting for more than a year now. So maybe if you haven't followed me since the start, which most of you haven't, you can catch up.